Okay.
Okay, so I realized that we started this 5 years and 6 months ago. And the reason that we started this venue is because I wasn't really happy with the diversity in this city in 2013. So I came out of LA. I didn't know any of the poets, only Terry Moore was the poet I knew here. And I said, hey, I have no friends anyway, so I can piss everybody off. But I gotta lose, So I am going to make a venue that has more colors than the rainbow. It's gonna be old and young and gay and straight and white and black, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, rich, poor, blind, everybody. And I went all over this thing, trying to create. There's one of our earlier poets from Sacramento Poetry Center, Mario. So I went to go find people from every continent that I could pronounce to feature. So that was causing a problem because people on both extremes were like, wait a minute, we're all white and we're all black. And now there's this venue right in the middle that is really making everybody aware of what we're actually doing here. Segregation. And I don't know, why does literature not need to be segregated? It is segregated. And that is why there's Harvard Lit and there's Urban Lit. And the two neither shall neither not mix. And they make sure that Harvard protects the king's language. So as long as you say y'all, you're all right. They don't have to worry about you at Harvard. But that doesn't work when you go apply for a bank loan. So the language that we're so in love with is also a handicap because they use it as a way to discriminate. So now you need to buy a loan and you can't speak. You've already eliminated yourself from that. So literacy is a must. I like to be cool. I like Tupac. I like all of the rappers. But I hate to break the news that we have to remain literate. And that is not what people want to hear. Because they think, well, we've created our own culture of illiteracy, and what's wrong with it? Well, if you own the banks and the real estate and all of the corporations, there would be nothing wrong with it. But you don't. So until that point. So that's what I really wanted to do with keynotes, to integrate the language. And so we've been here 5 years. And I wanted to say this, I put a few pointers here. When I was born, I didn't know anything. I was a day old. I didn't know what color I was. I didn't even know what sex I was. I had a little penis, but I didn't know what to do with it. So all of these, well maybe, but all of these things, somebody in this earth had to teach me. Somebody had to teach me about race. I certainly didn't know when I came out, if I don't remember correctly. I didn't know about sex or any of this stuff. So all of a sudden, 16 years later, or 15, I got it, the doctorate of racism. So my parents tell me what they saw 20 years ago. And they say, they creep me up to be exclusive to black people. Because I was born in that climate, where it was black or white. Now that's a challenge. So here's the problem. When I started to study poetry, they decided in literature in high school who the best poets were. So I'm like, oh. And if you look at it, it's Ross and Dickinson and Keats, all of them, I mean, go on and then if you get to number 24, 25, Langston Hughes, they were kind enough to put him in number 25. This sounds kind of racist. Even in poetry, why did the black poets get to be 25, 32, and 90? So they told me to go out and be a poet in high school. What is that? I don't know what that is. So, but they told me if you be a poet, you can go to any university in this entire country. based upon some poems that I wrote in the 11th and 12th grade. That's fine. You mean 3 poems that took me an hour or 2 to write will get me into a university? Now, that's pretty good. Since I have a choice, I'm going to an all-white university. Right? Anything with a snowy mountain, I'm going to it. I'm getting out of South Central. I'm never going to hear another bullet, siren, death, funeral, or drive-by, never again. So I took that little gift that they gave me, and I went to this private, wealthy university that they call the Harvard of the Northwest. Whoa. So now, I have a problem. Since there's only 8 African Americans on that entire university, all of them were, well, most of them were wealthy. I was the only poor person. I mean, there were 2 poor people at the school. So I was one of them, and there was another white guy. And I found out that they treated me better than him because he was an embarrassment to their culture. So yeah, he got treated like dirt. And so that's what I wanted to talk about. And the one thing I want to say, because I have to leave you with something. And I want to say I was as racist as some people are sexist. And so now you gotta ask yourself, if racism is wrong, how can sexism be wrong? That's controversial. I'm not going to debate that. You guys can go home and think about that. But if racism is wrong, how can sexism or nationalism, I mean, how can any of the isms be right if one? So we have to check our own spirits on this. This is not the purpose of that. I'm just throwing this in the universe. So what I wanted to say is, so when they told me to go be a poet, and I said, well, I don't want to be poet number 26. I'm not leaving high school to go to college to come back and be 30 years later the 26th best poet in the world. I said, wow, all the top 25 are away. So before I can even get to Langston, I got a lot of work to do. And I didn't want this. I didn't have any parents. I had no family. I had nothing but this lonely, empty college who somehow convinced me that I could write and that I had some kind of command of literature. So the assignment was to build a bridge of poetry here in Sacramento. I just came here. And God said, poet. And I said, what? I was cool with God. I mean, I liked him, but he liked me and I liked him. That was it. We just had that kind of relationship. And he said, I need you to build a bridge. What? I got other things to do, but about this, what kind of bridge? A poetry bridge. I go, But they've already convinced me now that I couldn't be what they call in the white poet category. So I got to get back to black poetry just to get some gigs. Because they don't want to hear me read about coitus in Rockland somewhere. I mean, no. So coitus, kind of, in birch trees and all these things. So now I said, build a bridge. And this is the origin of keynotes. I said, oof. So I'm going to build a bridge from North Sacramento to South Sacramento. So I'm going to go to Lowe's and I'm going to pull my little van and load some lumber up and see if I can build some kind of bridge of poetry to bridge these people together. And so now, as I'm doing this, he says, I said, well, I'm going to go find some black people and build the bridge. And he said, no. I said, well, who am I going to put in this art thing? Who am I? Everybody. So I hear people saying, for those who are driven to success, the things that I won't do. That is the number one sign, it's a tidbit of failure. Anybody who can tell you 20 things they won't do for success will never succeed. And here's why. So, because I had a list of 20 things I wouldn't do. I mean, I'm going to be honest, we can be honest tonight. And at that time, after the white America said, well, you can be in our world, but we need you to write about gang stuff. You can come to this school, but we just want you to write about, what happened in LA, all the shooting and the drive-by. I said, no, I didn't come here to be poet number 26. I came here to be poet number 1, 2, or 3. So I'm not writing about gang stuff. That's not what I'm doing. And not that that's not vital, but I'm not going to be mocked at this university in front of all of these people to be sitting around doing that while everybody else is writing about nature. So that was a job when they wanted me, and Michael Jackson had the same problem. And they said, well, Michael, when he was 12, one day you're going to grow up, you're going to be the best black singer ever. No, I don't want to be the best black singer. I want to be the best singer of all time. He said, no, Michael, you got that wrong, the best black singer. And Michael had the same problem. He wasn't satisfied with being number 26. So he passed number 30, number 18, 2, 5, 4, and 1. And the world makes it racial. This is the world that we live in. So, as I started to build this bridge, it got complicated. And because again, from my upbringing, I wanted a black art. I didn't really want a black art. Because I definitely don't want to be in an art field with all my people in it. And I don't want to draw that art, because that's going to be some kind of art. I'll be standing on top of that art. But that was, what you laughing at, Jack? That was the...
I just had a visual.
Me too, yeah, that would be a rough art. I went to school with art like that, and it wasn't pretty. So we got to Houston, we have a problem here, because this integration thing is complicated now. So what am I doing? Am I going to build a black art, and then why? So you guys can send the SS Tomahawk and sink the art after I put all black people on it. So keynotes when I decided the 20 things I said I would never do. And there was a time where I was like, I ain't putting no white people in the art. So God, if you need somebody else, I'm not doing it. Because that's how I came out of South Central. So we had these issues where the world was all black. My world was like 99.9% black. So I said I would not ever have relationships with white people. I didn't know why, but that's what somebody taught me after I was born in the hospital with the little bitty penis. And then I taught that. So, and then the things I wouldn't do. And then I said, I'm never hanging out with young people. Now I'm hanging with Jabri. Some more stuff I said I would never do. So all the things that I said I wouldn't do were blocking the success. And this one's going to be controversial. I got to a point where I said, if I never see a black woman again in my life, it would be too soon. Because I was angry after, I'm telling you the truth, a relationship. I had to break that rule. All of these rules, I had to break one by one. Because they were obstructions to success. I had toxins about what I would not do. I would not, and I darn never thought that I would have more friends in India than I do in America. And so again, this is what I'm telling you, those who want success, go find that list of the 20 things you say you'll never do and burn it up. Because success is this. It's that thing at the highest branch that you want. Your whole life depends on it. You breathe it, you live on it. This is what you want. And this is going to define my life if I get what I determine as success. So as you start to climb up that tree to get that thing that's going to make you your piece of whatever you want, you say, well, I'm not climbing it in these camps. You start to make reasons why you are not. You start to make reasons about why you're not going to get this success. So I had to get rid of all of the things. Instead of these values, you make judgments as you go about this individual and that individual. And I think when you have blanket statements for everybody, what happens is, and if I said, for example, all white people or all Hispanic people, there's 10 in that group. that probably would have been what I needed. I've eliminated the entire group. So this is what I had to learn recently, and this is very difficult for me to say. Because I practiced, I was good at racism. If anybody else would say they weren't, that's something you can talk about on the way home. Anybody say they never practiced racism in here, I'm just going to leave it at that. We've all practiced some kind of isms, so there's nobody in here that's perfect. But if you are, forgive me for the one or two that aren't perfect. So as I built this bridge, hopefully between North and South Sacramento, then the bridge started going to Africa. We started getting people in Africa that wanted to be. I said, I ain't got that much lumber. So my lumber ran out. So now he said he wanted the bridge to go to Africa. And now you have people in Nigeria and all of these countries coming to ask to be a part of keynotes. Then it went to India and then the Philippines. It's just going all over this little tiny keynote bridge that we just wanted to build from South Sac to North Sac and quit. But it got to be, and this is what I said, sometimes when you start a work, you don't know how it's going to end. And so this night, again, is very emotional. So I want to close, but I think I have one more thing I wanted to talk about. So be careful, determine what your success is, and say 20 things you will do to get that success. But when you start making blanket statements, eliminating groups of people, one of the people in that group will probably have the key to your success. And I remember the first white male that was because coming out of LA, we didn't have any white people there. The mailman was about all I could see, and it was a good teacher. But LA and South Central, we just didn't have anybody in our schools. I had one white student in 8 years of elementary, middle, and high school. So this was totally a culture shock. So in that regard, I was just a prime target to be angry because I didn't have this relationship with anybody. And so I bit the apple of anger. And so this is where we are. This is where keynotes, this is our last event here, but I don't like last hoorah. It's our last hoorah for now. So I wanted to thank you all for coming out to poetry. And this was a lot more than poetry, because I asked you a lot more than most venues. And as we sat in this venue with people from every part of the, and since I'm doing a confession, I have one more of the 20 thing. I used to struggle with sexuality of people. And this I was taught. I was taught that there's a man, there's a woman, and everybody's going to hell. I'm just keep it real, right? So that's how I was taught as a child. And that became a big burden on me, carrying all of that animosity toward anybody that my parents told me were going to hell. And I was dragging that big ball for 15 years trying to police who people were sleeping with. Who you sleeping with? Who you sleeping with? And I said, whoo, this is a lot of work. And so then I said, why do I care who people are sleeping with? What matters do I care, and how in the world am I going to monitor 7 continents to figure out who people are sleeping with? And so again, I let go of another 20,000 pounds. All these things are weight, and it's a black ball that you're carrying around that keep you from being successful. Because if you want to be the moral evangelist, and now that you're dealing with, you want to stop fornication? Now you got a door. Anybody commit to adultery in this house? You gotta go to the high schools because you're not purifying this world. So stop it. So, and that was my burden. I gotta purify the world. I gotta make sure everybody's sleeping with the right people. Work that is. White people. So, stressed out. Because I'm done with that. And I fell for it. I bit the cookie. And so I had the halo. I was ready to get thorned and put on the cross. And so finally, somebody could laugh now. So finally I said, I have to drop some of this weight. And so people now, why do you smile so much? Because I figured it out before I hit the convalescent home. And some people are going to figure it out when they get to the convalescent home.
Or later.
Yeah. So somebody sold us a bag of goods. And this, go figure out, so Google it. So, and they told us, these are the 10 things that thou shalt not do. Thou shalt not steal, kill, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. But the people that wrote it are doing it. Mm-hmm. They killing, they sending to the war, they stealing, they farming, they doing it all. But when they went and passed the doctrine out, it was controversial. Because, oh no, we're powerful, we're wealthy, we can do it. But if you want to go to heaven, you can't do it. Let's not support Asians, let's not support Hispanics. It's old, and it's hypocrisy. And it's tiresome, and I hope that we can use this night to heal. Because you can't follow the rules of racism. I tried it. I mean, I dotted the I's and crossed the T's, and it all came up totally illogical. And I won't even go into the history format of this, because I'm going to stop in about 5 minutes or less. But racism will make you insane. I see people on Facebook, I wonder if they have jobs. They sit up there from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. I said, if you send me one more picture of somebody getting lynched, I'm going to cry. Do you know how many pictures I've seen of black people getting lynched? How many do I need? 40 a day. I mean, so you're sending me all of this. And it's not that I'm trying to disrespect history. I love history. But I'm wise enough to know the motive. And people are getting intoxicated on anger. And so I teach middle school. And some of these kids, 8th grade, can barely read and can barely, well, I asked a kid, 8th grade, 4 times 4. And he was really, and so this is a war crime. Be in the 8th grade and can't do your mathematics. So I said, so instead of trying for me to transpose myself into 1735 to see who got lynched on what tree, why don't I use 2018 to help some of these kids? It's the same energy. So why don't I fix the path that goes forward? Because I can't fix the path that goes behind us. So I told somebody, please don't send me no more pictures of anybody getting lynched, shot, killed, maimed, or because 1, it makes me angry, and 2, there's a plan behind these images coming to us. Because as long as you're intoxicated with anger, you're not going to do anything for the moment. You're not. So to go out and help feed the people, help educate the people, that is the work that you can send me some clips of how I can make a change. I don't want another history degree at all. I mean, I love history, but it's just to a point where we have to make some history of our own. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's time for us to make some history. And so that is where I want to close. So what we're going to do now, since the degree is here,